Let's unzoom a little bit, bring up the resources. Here we have Folsson as red, which is right, and on the left we have Fenrir as blue. Both of them going Fallen, both of them going for a Deformer. So no immediate expansions on either of the sides. Of course, this map has many options for expansion. You have this one that is like hidden behind your expansion, or I mean hidden behind your main starting base. So it's not really accessible without flying units, or if you go really carefully around the main town, but it will most likely get scouted there. Then there is expansion here, which is like a little bit more in the front, but still really easily defendable. So that is also really good. And then you also have the expansions in the underground, which are also pretty decent. You have 2 entrances to them, but they are pretty narrow, so you can protect that really well. There are also these watchtowers in the middle that you can capture to gain some vision, mainly over the main base of the enemy player. And also, of course, the middle of the map that leads to your town if he wants to attack you. Unless he goes through underground, of course. And also there are storehouses in the underground, or warehouses, that you can capture to get some extra resources. So definitely many options on this map. We will see what they will utilize. For now they are going both for 2 hives, so nothing too interesting. There is this natural barrier of rocks, which you can probably pass through, but it will slow down your army a little bit. So that's maybe a little bit of an advantage here. But you also cannot build there, so also a disadvantage in some sense. We see incubator from... actually only from Folsson. Fenrir is going for a 3rd hive, so maybe potential rush with full hive stingers. And you'll probably see some hive spitters from Folsson, unless he wants to go for flying. Yeah, so scouts are going to the middle. Actually, Fenrir is trying to take the tower maybe immediately, but first he's going to deal some damage to Folsson. Actually, Folsson entered the tower now, so Fenrir will take the 2nd tower. It's a natural building, so it should have auto heal, so you won't be able to kill it with just 1 hive stinger. As you can see, the healing is faster than that. You will need more units. Probably 2 will still not be enough, but maybe yes. Yeah, seems like he will slowly kill it. But Fenrir is already coming with a new hive stinger as well. And since he has 3 hives, as I mentioned, he will be producing much faster now. On the other hand, we see Folsson already finished the incubator, and now he's building also a 3rd hive. Now both players are trying to destroy the ruined towers. Folsson, of course, a little bit quicker with 3 hive stingers, but now a huge support of hive stingers is coming for Fenrir. So Folsson will most likely need to retreat here, since he's not really producing any more units right now. He's probably saving for some hive spitters. Yeah, he's now just wasting units. 3 hive stingers died for nothing for Folsson here. I don't know what he was focusing on. Another hive stinger. So he doesn't have any units right now. He's producing only 1 hive spitter. He's really getting behind. He doesn't even have a tower in the front. He has only 1 near his harvesters, which is good to protect them, but since there will be an attack from here, I think 1 tower would be nice to have here behind the deformers. Nice scout, but died immediately. 1 hive stinger is returning. That will be, of course, important. But he's still not producing more units, even though he has ton of resources. Now he started making 2 hive spitters, but those take 35 seconds to produce, so he doesn't have that kind of time right now. He will most likely actually need to retreat and kinda force Fenrir or lurk him towards his tower. But maybe he'll just get scared of the hive spitters. We will see. Fenrir will probably take the 2nd tower as well. So he will have definitely much better scouting and map control. We see Wild Cocoon also being built by Folsson. On the other side, Fenrir is going for Soul's Trap while also having 1 tower. Not really well protected, but at least it's also protecting all of his buildings at the same time. While Folsson has this front base that is not protected. None of the players are going for expansion yet. Fenrir finally taking both of the towers, as I said. Right now he's just returning to his home where he has a ton of more hive stingers and seems like he's going for an expansion. Probably to this area, which doesn't seem like the best option, but okay. Keep in mind that these warehouses are protected by scrappers, so you need to defeat those first, which will probably cost you some units. You can see they are quite powerful. But if you micromanage it well, you shouldn't lose any units, then you can just heal up on unholy ground, even though he just lost one hive stinger here. But he can take this, get some extra resources. We see Folsson going for a push, but maybe he just wants to destroy the towers. Of course, Fenrir knows about him now. He can definitely kill this. Even though hive splitters are pretty strong, they still take more damage from pike, so all of these hive stingers should easily destroy this. And maybe we will see if Fenrir is going for the second warehouse, or if he actually wants to push through the underground and attack Folsson at home. But this tower is pretty well protected. Actually, second one is being built. Also Soul's Trap here, so I think this town should be quite durable. I don't know if he already got a metamorphosis, metamorphosis because of the wild cocoon, but he doesn't have that many hive stingers, so probably not. Maybe he'll go for hive guards, we'll see. So Fenrir taking the second warehouse as well, losing some hive stingers, but this will pay off. The only problem will be if Folsson actually goes into the underground and finds out about it. He's scouting this area with his control forms, but I don't think he sees the warehouse. But now he will see definitely these hive stingers. So Fenrir should keep that in mind. We now see expansion from both players. Folsson will actually finish it first, but Fenrir has some towers here as well. Also he has the warehouses now. There is one scout from Folsson, just checking this expansion. Of course, Fenrir can also take this expansion at any time. This one is the more dangerous, so taking it first is more dangerous, but you have better map control once you do it. Of course, Folsson now knows about this. He had a scout, hive stinger there. But he's not really playing too offensively, just kind of sitting in his base. Now he made a Seeker, so he's going to probably check this expansion, or maybe the unit composition of Fenrir. Or maybe he'll capture the tower, but yeah, as I said, he's going to scout this expansion. And Fenrir is just going to build the expansion here now. I mean, this is okay, of course, you want to have this information, but to be honest, you cannot really stop this unless you have flying units, so this expansion is much more important for him to take down. But Fenrir has units everywhere. Also, since he has the warehouses, he will have much more resources. You don't see the difference yet. He has a little bit more gems, but population is basically the same, and gold as well. But we have to keep in mind that he invested into another whole dark fortress. I think Folsson probably saw it now, but maybe he wasn't looking here. Or it was barely outside of the view range. Now Fenrir is retreating. He's still making only hive stingers and doesn't even have wild cocoon. He doesn't even have incubate. Actually, now he built an incubator, but doesn't have wild cocoon to make them into flying hive stingers. So he's just relying on this. We'll see if Folsson will just rush to the surface or not. But he will be probably surprised to find out about all of these hive stingers. He will probably retreat immediately to the underground. Fenrir is just really well surrounding this entrance. Fortunately, he actually sent one hive stinger into the underground as a scout, so maybe now Folsson won't come up since he's going to be scared. We'll see. Yeah, he actually came up, and now he's not really able to retreat anymore because he spawned behind the hive stingers that were blocking the path. And Yeah, I mean Folsson will lose all of his units here probably. And it has now much better economy. The towers are of course once again Fenrir's. We don't see too big of a production of harvesters, but he has multiple bases while also he's trying to maintain some army, so he doesn't really need to rush anything. We see Hall of Whispers, so potentially some Void Walkers from Folsson. That might be interesting to freeze the Hive Stingers, of course. Or maybe go even for Decay or something. You also see Dimension Gate in the back. For Fenrir finally adding some Nightmares and building more Vengeance Halls. While also making a Sorrow Shrine. Folsson now has Flying Hive Stingers. Fenrir is just checking this expansion. Yeah, but Folsson will be falling behind on resources really quickly here since he doesn't have the two warehouses while also having one less expansion. Maybe Folsson actually wants to drop on this expansion, but he actually moved here, so I'm not sure. But Fenrir now knows about him, so he'll probably move his units here. Yeah, he's already going there with some Hive Stingers. His harvesters are moving away, so these Hive Stingers won't do anything. They don't have the damage to destroy the Dark Fortress fast enough. So he will just lose all of them. Fenrir is actually sending all of his units here. But this was a really big waste. If you dropped it here, there is a tower. This one wouldn't have a range for shooting the Stingers here. There is one tower, but he would still kill some harvesters. But this was really a waste. It seems like he actually made some Chain Lightning Spires, so maybe that was the only reason why he made the Hall of Whispers. Just to unlock that upgrade for towers. Now he's making 2 Vengeance Halls. So he said he has a Dimension Gang going for Astral Nodes, so potentially some Stalkers. But to be honest, even though Fenrir has so many Hive Stingers, he just didn't upgrade Metamorphosis at all because he doesn't even have Wild Cocoon. So Stalkers won't... Now he's actually building it, but Stalkers probably won't matter that much. Folsson is scouting it here. There are some towers being built, but they don't see invisible units. So the Seeker will be scouted only by this Deformer, and that is still pretty far away, so I don't think he will be scouted here, and actually he gets surrounded, but he can of course just burrow away. Yeah, probably a little bit more harvesters will be needed in the expansions of Fenrir, but as I said, he has more expansions and warehouses, so he will still have more resources. Folsson is actually not even using this Gems Mine, which is definitely a huge mistake. Fenrir has definitely more population now. You also see some Nightmares being built by Folsson. Fenrir is really close here, but only with his Hive Stingers. Nightmares stayed somewhere in the back. Actually seems like they are running through the underground. Or no, those are actually also Hive Stingers. Just one scout. Yeah, they both have pretty decent defense against flying harassment. Folsson is probably better now thanks to the upgraded towers. But as you can see, Fenrir has ton of resources now, so even though he has more population, he should definitely just make some summoners now, get extra maximum population, and then just pump out more units. You see Hunter Reflexes, so 1 and 1 upgrade for Folsson and 1 and 0 for Fenrir, so a little bit behind. Small skirmish in the underground here. Fenrir losing some units because he of course got scouted here by the control form through the underground. Folsson still didn't find out about the warehouses. He's losing so much resources on that, you can see it on the... Because you don't get gems from that, but you get ton of gold and wood, and that is what he has right now. He's even going for another expansion, while Folsson is still sitting only on 2 bases.
The research is complete.
Yeah, but we can probably kill this because there are no nightmares for Fenrir. But Soulskeeper needs to, well, not Soulskeeper, Folsson needs to stay together with his army and actually use the shields on the front line and some hive spitters in the back. It was not the best played. Kermish, he probably lost a little bit more hive stingers there, but it's fine, he just forced him back. Yeah, Soulskeeper, we are not playing. That was a mistake. Yeah, so Fenrir is still kinda sitting on a ton of resources. We see some more stalkers being produced by Folsson. Probably has already the file upgraded. We see another expansion from Fenrir, so he's basically taking everything. Since he has so much gold and wood from these warehouses, he can just build towers everywhere. So the bases will be basically immortal unless Folsson starts producing some Avengers. And he doesn't even have the Chamber of the Avenger. But we see Void Walker, so potentially maybe some Dimension Gate or freezes, or he wants to destroy him through the surfaces. Either from underground to surface or from surface to underground. Folsson is just returning his units now, still 20 population behind, but mainly the resources will be the problem here. He just has zero map control. While Fenrir basically has map control everywhere. And now we see Folsson actually pushing through the underground, so he's going to stop this. These towers won't be able to finish. They are all at half of the production on the build time. But at the same time, Fenrir is pushing here. He will maybe go to the underground through this entrance, but probably not. I'm expecting him to just keep pushing to this base. And to be honest, he doesn't really care that he lost his base here, because he still has so many more expansions. Yes, this is totally fine for him. We will see if Soulskeeper once again. Folsson will utilize this Void Walker here, maybe for some freeze or something. But to be honest, there is so many chain towers that even though he has frost shields everywhere, this is just going to fall really quickly. Now Folsson started retreating. Yeah, so Fenrir kinda like wasted all of his units here. Basically for nothing, even though he still has more population than Folsson. But they are sitting on pretty similar resources now. Folsson definitely catched up a little bit here. I don't know what his plan is with this Void Walker, but he can definitely utilize it in some ways. We see a small push with flying hive stingers. Actually, we see some deformers from Fenrir here, but no towers yet. So he's probably going to get rushed here, even though there are 4 towers, or maybe on the top. Or Folsson will just go destroy these deformers for now. Yeah, this was still not taken by either of the players. Underground is still by full control of Fenrir. He just hosted one base there, but outside of that he has everything. He's going to lose this middle vision, but that doesn't really change too much. Right now Fenrir is just spamming deformers everywhere. And even though he has so much more wood from the warehouses, he's actually running out of wood slowly by building so many buildings. Folsson finally making another expansion. But he just doesn't have too many units. He started making Avengers, okay, that's of course good, but they will get countered by pike damage. And they're just going for full Hive Stinger and Nightmare army. Right now, actually, he ran out of resources in his main town. Both of them did. So even though Folsson is making a new base, it's just going to equal to the loss of his main base. Yeah, Folsson finally finding out about the warehouse. He's of course also going to stop this base again. I don't know why he casted a defile here, but probably to somehow stop these nightmares, even though they just ran away immediately. But Fenrir is going to lose some units here. Definitely not too good for him. He's coming with more and more nightmares, but he just doesn't have enough Hive Stingers for that. As I said, you need to have 2/3 of your army Hive Stingers if you want to play with nightmares and Hive Stingers. Right now Folsson is not really fighting him too much here, but that's why the file seemed a little bit random, but he somehow blinded it, so he's going to win this fight. Fenrir 0 micromanagement here, just standing there and waiting for death. Yeah, so Fenrir is just sending his peasants or harvesters to the second base in the underground that Folsson still doesn't know about. We still see this Void Walker here. Still not sure what the idea with that is. I'm trying to check what he can do in this location through underground, if he can cast some spells with the Void Walker or at least scout with control form, but there is really nothing too interesting, and this base is below this, so that's also not really possible. Many towers, but he can just bind them with 75 mana. Or he can just destroy it with Avengers, doesn't really matter. That's probably even easier. There are 2 towers here, but it won't stop anything. We see more units coming from Fenrir now. But he's also on 0 resources now. He has ton of gems, but basically no gold. So even though he had so much bigger income, he just didn't really utilize it for anything. Now he has no way of killing these Avengers. Yeah, so we'll have to see if he comes up with more Hive Stingers or what his strategy is. He still has some units around this entrance, not really using them during the whole game. Folsson is just taking some unnecessary damage here from the towers. He could just destroy them with Avengers, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem for him. We see one Seeker here from Fenrir. Right now it will be the same amount of bases on both sides, but Fenrir still has at least one warehouse. Folsson didn't take the second one he destroyed, so it's not too good for him. Now we see a ton of Hive Stingers from Fenrir, finally catching up here, but the Avengers will still be able to splash them down, even though a few of them will probably die here. The question is what the Nightmares can do actually. 24 cold is not bad, but it's still only 45% right now when he is level 4 on Avengers. Increase the movement speed, but yeah, another defile from one of the Stalkers. I don't know what Fenrir is trying to do here, but definitely needs to move a little bit quicker. So this will be really even. I think Folsson will win this. But more units are coming from Fenrir. They are sitting basically on the same population, both 90. Fenrir having more resources. Folsson establishing this base pretty decently. Fenrir is not really using this now, but he's producing new harvesters. None of the players have any serious army right now, but as I said, Fenrir has some units here that he could bring to even it up a little bit more. Folsson is probably just making more and more Avengers at this point, but also adding some Hive Stingers. Fenrir tried to make the second expansion in underground as well once again, but this is going to get destroyed immediately. That micro. Does he have particles off? I mean, maybe he didn't even see the blind cloud. But Fenrir is definitely dead here in terms of army. He's trying to do some push here, but against all of these towers he will do literally nothing. These nightmares also cannot do anything against the Avengers. So even though Fenrir still has better income, he's just not really making any counters. Now he finally started also making Avengers, okay. It'll maybe give him a chance. He also has really good upgrades, 3 and 2. For example, Folsson has only 0 and 1. And yeah, Folsson has a little bit more experience, so he has 4th level on Avenger, while Fenrir has only 3rd. But it's also not that big of a difference. Actually, he has more HP here. 6 armor, only 4 here. Also the damage difference is huge. That one level gives only 20 more HP and some extra damage reduction. But yeah, all of these Hive Stingers together with the blinding clouds from Stalker's Defiles will definitely deal with this really easily. Fenrir complaining about his own skill. We see one Stalker scouting here from Folsson. Trying to push again, but his Hive Stinger will just block the path, and then Folsson can kill him with his Avengers pretty easily. Maybe one will die here. They're pretty body blocked there. 3 Avengers coming from Fenrir. There are still 5 of Folsson, 4 of them basically full HP and 1 is at a half HP. Some more Stingers are coming for Folsson, but he doesn't have any resources at this point, and he's also 10 population behind. Doesn't seem like he wants to fight this, so doesn't really have... He has mana for 1 Defile, but that probably won't help him too much. We see some attempt for expansion here, but as I said, he doesn't have resources, so can't even build a Dark Fortress there. He still doesn't have that warehouse. Stalkers are really helping him here, especially when Fenrir is not micromanaging at all most of the time. So the units are just standing there for 10 seconds AFK. You don't see any Stingers from Fenrir now, just spamming more Avengers. Decent push from Folsson here, he's going to blind the units. Yeah, I mean Fenrir definitely will lose the majority of his army. But now it's just an Avenger fight. And they have pretty similar amounts of Avengers, Folsson still a little bit more. But now they are both on level 4, and as I said, Avenger has much stronger Avengers. Fenrir has much stronger Avengers because he has 3 and 3 upgrades. Well, there is only 0 and 1. Yeah, because Fenrir was also making the upgrades for his Nightmares, and that is the same upgrade that you just make in the Sorrow Shrine. So to be honest, I think Fenrir could just easily win this only based on the upgrades he has. That are just giving him so much more value. Now wasting some Stingers here. Still has those Voidwalkers, basically not using him at all. Fenrir is immediately rebuilding this base. Probably will also go for the second underground base again. Now they also ran out of resources in their first expansion. Or I mean, Folsson did. Fenrir will run out of it really soon. Folsson even pushing with his harvesters at this point. Seems like he's really kinda giving up at this moment, but he left some Hive Stingers behind, so that's a huge mistake. That could have been some extra pike damage there. Yeah, but Fenrir is just pumping out more and more Avengers. So Folsson is kinda forced back here. Still doesn't really have resources or anything. There is not really a place for him to expand at. He just doesn't have the underground control right now. If Fenrir will be smart, we will also take this warehouse again. While also taking the 2 expansions here. Folsson could potentially try to push some bases on the surface, but to be honest they are almost empty, so that's not even that great of a value. But he has a ton of resources here, so since he took this base really late. So if we can somehow deny these 2 bases, he should be pretty fine. This one should be easy because you can cast some spells through the surface from this area with the Void Walker. Some trash talk here again. Fenrir, a really good circle here. Folsson is just going to get one-shotted here immediately once he left the cave exit, and he calls it GG. So yeah, the game in the 3rd round between Fenrir and Folsson will be actually won by Fenrir. Even though I think majority of you voted in the bet for Folsson. So GG, let's check the results. Pretty similar kills and losses on both sides, around 200. Fenrir a little bit more with 20 extra. They basically produce the exact same amount of units. You can see that Fenrir had largest army, so he was fighting with more units at once. In terms of buildings, Folsson was actually destroying a ton of buildings. Fenrir was not really pushing his buildings, just winning the fights and taking map control. He had one more research, but mainly he had the researches on the units that he actually was using, while Folsson just didn't have any upgrades on Avengers except that one upgrade for damage. Also, as I said, Fenrir had way more NPC captures, those warehouses and also the towers in the beginning. And then we have resources, which of course is the biggest difference. Fenrir had more of each resource and also spent more of each resource. Mainly, of course, the gold, which is like almost 10,000 difference.